Johnny, Johnny.
Yes, Papa.
Have you been a good girl today?
Yes, Daddy.
Open your mouth.
You know how sometimes in the middle of the night you randomly remember a really embarrassing thing that happened to you ages ago, and it makes you cringe so hard that you violently piss your bed and fill it all the way up to the brim until your mattress becomes a 5-star water park and you slide down to the end of it and splash around in your own piss? Well, the other day I asked you guys to send me your most embarrassing experiences because I wanted to see how cringe these moments could get. More like secondhand embarrassment for me, but this happened just yesterday. I was in a voice chat with a female friend of mine for like 4 hours. Randomly, her mother or sister came in. My brother was also in the room, and because her mum heard me, she asked her, "Is this your ex again?" I've never met her mum. I had to explain to her that we met like 3 weeks ago. Then with her sister, they literally just fought. She told her sister that she's emo and that she will go up her sister's lasagna and lay an egg there. And with her brother, they were fighting about who was going to take out the dog, not to eat it, which ended up with me finding out that she found a used condom in her brother's bin and that the brother was the result of the mum cheating on her dad with the Turkish mailman. I obviously muted myself. Me and my brother were laughing so hard, really hard, but instead of just not touching anything, my brother unmuted me and said that the brother has a micro dingling. I ended up leaving the call because from what I could tell, her brother wouldn't hesitate flashing my brother, which I obviously don't want. Jesus Christ. Okay, there is a lot to unpack here. So this is your embarrassing moment. You find out that your friend's brother was like only born because he was in an accident because the mum cheated on her husband with the Turkish mailman. How does this even happen? So you're on voice chat with a female friend for 4 hours. Okay, first of all, is this even a female friend or is it like, this sounds like your girlfriend? But anyways, what is wrong with your friend? Your friend tells her sister that she's gonna go up her lasagna and lay an egg there. What does she mean by that? How is she even gonna get up her lasagna? Okay, so many questions. And also, why did you feel the need to clarify that like they're not gonna eat the dog, they're gonna take the dog out not to eat it? But anyways, this is just strange. I mean I can understand how it is like, you know, embarrassing for you to have to listen to this, but bro, why would your brother unmute you and just like start like telling your like the other brother that he has a micro dingling? Honestly, I feel like your friends are a bit questionable. I'm just gonna rank this slightly questionable. I think maybe you need to get a new friend. I used to pee in my sister's closet for no reason at all. Every time she sleeps, I just pee in there when I was younger, probably like 9. I'm 16 now. Like every day I'd pee in there and it would start to smell and her shoes smelled like pee and other stuff I'm not getting into. But later on she found out and got really mad and my mum took away legit everything from me at the age of 11. So 2 years went by with all that pee in there. I wish this wasn't a real story, but this is real. Please read this. Jesus, I mean, I wish this wasn't a real story as well. For 2 years, from the age of 9 to 11, you peed in your sister's closet every day for no reason at all. Why would you do that? Like, it's literally for no reason. There's no reason for you to do that. Like, maybe your sister was treating you badly, but you never specified that. I bet your sister was probably the nicest person to you. And this is how you repay her. You repay her by pissing in her closet. Imagine how much stench all her clothes would have got. And, like, you can't remove that if it sort of stains onto the clothing. Like, did you not have a toilet? Maybe you only had one toilet in the household, and so you needed to, like, I don't know, use her closet as a toilet so that I'm trying to give you like the benefit of the doubt here, but I really can't think of anything. And so honestly, I think this is, yeah, you need some help. Borderline get out. Honestly, yeah, you need some help. There is something wrong with you. I don't think you should have done this. One time when I was on my way back home from a trip to Brazil on a 16-hour flight, I wasn't feeling well because of some bad gas food station or something. And I had to go to the bathroom many times during that flight, but one time when I went to the bathroom, they were all locked. I tried my best to wait for someone to leave the bathroom when I had the sudden urge to fart. I tried holding it in, but the more I did, the more it hurt. And so I decided to just fart because the bathroom smelled bad anyways and nobody would notice. At first, it felt like a normal fart until I felt a slight trickle of liquid down my leg. I looked down at my leg and saw a liquid diarrhea going down my leg, and as I looked, the lady that was in the bathroom opened the door and saw a kid looking at his leg with the door behind him covered in diarrhea. She screamed so loud that everyone woke up and saw the biological hazard known as my diarrhea covering the door behind me. When the flight ended, the whole plane had to leave through one exit because of two, because the smell was so bad. Even one of the flight attendants threw up. Bro, why would you do that? Isn't it common knowledge that if you have diarrhea and you need to poo, like do not risk the fart? I swear every time anyone has tried to fart while holding in diarrhea, it's always ended badly. Like what else could have happened? Like do you expect to fart without, some diarrhea coming out? Bro, honestly, if I was you, I would have hogged that bathroom the entire flight. I would have stayed in that bathroom for 2 hours. I do not care if anyone needs to use it. I would rather not release explosive diarrhea onto my plane seat compared to just doing it into the toilets. But at least you didn't do it onto your seat, I don't think. Like maybe you did. Maybe you pooed onto your seat and you had to just stay there the entire flight. That would have been bad. 16 hours in your poo. But anyways, yeah, this one is pretty bad. Like I don't know how anyone's recovering from this. At least when you're on a plane, you're most likely never going to see anyone ever again, especially if people are from different countries. And so I'm just going to say it is slightly questionable. Maybe you need some help. Maybe instead you should have got some help and asked for I don't know, gastro stop or something for your stomach so that you wouldn't release it everywhere. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure the strat for diarrhea is to just let it all out, because that's all the bacteria in your stomach. You should just poo it all out to get rid of the bacteria. I was in my room trying to get free Robux for 2 hours until I found a link. I thought it was innocent, but little did I know it wasn't going to be innocent. And what made it even worse is that my mum barged into my room looking for a makeup. My last moments before I met heaven was the sight of a black and orange screen. Jesus Christ, I wonder what the black and orange screen was. So you were so broke that you were trying to find a free Robux link, and when you clicked on the link, it led you straight to the hub. That is insane. I'm pretty sure the strat for the free Robux links is that since the Corn Hub pays pays people per view, like ads and all that stuff, it's sort of like YouTube. They pay people based on how much how many views the video gets. If they can trick everyone into clicking the links onto a specific Corn Hub video, then they can get paid a lot of money for it. But yeah, that's just unfortunate timing that your mum had to witness you as you clicked onto the link and ended up on the Corn Hub site. How are you gonna explain that? If you try to explain that truthfully, that you're trying to find free Robux and you're clicking on random links, isn't that just as bad as just going onto the hub by yourself? And so it's a lose-lose situation for you. Honestly, yeah, this is pretty bad. Honestly, I feel sorry for you. I don't think it was your fault. I think you need some help, and maybe somebody can financially help you so that you can get actual Robux without having to click the links. I was already scared as I walked to the front of the class as I plugged my phone into the speakers and started. Instead of the slides I had prepared, my voice blasted out, and I knew it was me because it was a video I made the night before, belting into a hairbrush and pretending I was on a talent show at full volume. Everyone heard me sing, "I'm a little kissy meow meow, give me milk daddy, yeah." The room went completely silent. I panicked and tried to grab my phone, but me and my phone slipped and skidded across the floor, still playing meow purr purr. I was cooked. Then everyone started whispering. I finally managed to shut it off, standing there, my face burning as my teacher just stared, clearly going to tell me off. And after what felt like ages, I got a detention for what I sung, and the whole school knew. Jesus, I mean, what a song. What even is that song? That's not even a real song, is it? I'm a little kitty kitty meow meow, give me milk daddy, yeah. Please do not clip that. That is insane. So how does that even occur? How does that mistake occur? What type of phone do you have? So you were trying to plug your phone in to load up your slides, which, okay, first of all, you should be plugging in a laptop instead. And then second of all, as soon as you plug in your phone, it automatically starts playing that song. I bet you had some sort of macro that sort of did that. I don't think you had an iPhone. Maybe you had some dodgy phone that you got from Temu that automatically started doing that. But yeah, honestly, this is your fault. I don't know whether you should have been recording yourself singing that song at night if you knew you had a presentation the next day, and so that is kind of your fault. Maybe you need some help. Honestly, yeah, you need some help. Okay, so when I was 14 years old, there was a boy I was friends with on Discord who I tried to confess my feelings to, but last minute I bailed out, saying I appreciated the friendship. I wasn't sure whether he caught on to me, so to counteract my embarrassment, I got onto my alt account pretending to be my cousin who wanted to recruit server members and made a group chat with both of us in it. How convenient. While I typed in my fake alt a desperate fake confession so that he would laugh at the alt instead. Rereading it, throughout my stunt, he was saying how he couldn't believe so many accounts were confessing to him lately, and during the chat, I thought it was a general statement, and I genuinely got so jealous. Bro, all you had to do
was follow the damn train, CJ.
Was just confess your feelings. You got so far, but then you bailed out saying you appreciated the friendship. That must have been a stab to the heart to this guy. Imagine this guy, he thinks you like him and all the signs are there, and finally you confess only to confess a friendship, and he gets completely friend zoned. And you know what happened after that? You know what probably happened? He probably went on and accepted this as a rejection and probably gotten, I don't know, they just started crushing on somebody else instead. And so you just completely ruined everything. How hard is it to just be truthful and just, you know, just say it as it is? But yeah, making an alt account, yeah, that's a little bit strange. But yeah, at the same time, maybe I can understand why you would do that. But yeah, a bit strange. And so honestly, if this ended with like a happy ending, like you guys, you know, eventually, you know, started dating, maybe it would be calm, like it wouldn't be that embarrassing. But because you have no idea like whether he likes you or not, and because I think you've just completely ruined it, I think you might need some help. Maybe next time, just, you know, just actually say it as it is. Like, you actually need to get some help. No offense. I was an obscure TikTok account named Plate Count, and I usually averaged 35,000 views. I made a video about how my friend diddles and fingers me, and it got 200,000 views. My parents found it and got mad at me, and even my cousins found out and kept asking about it to me. It was so embarrassing, I deadass took down all my videos, changed my handle, and deleted TikTok. Honestly, good job. Deleting TikTok, good on you. But this honestly says a lot about society. Your videos usually average 35,000 views, but the moment you start talking about somebody diddling and fingering you, you get 200,000 views. What a world we live in today. But yeah, I mean, was it worth it? Was it worth the 200,000 views? Honestly, probably not, considering that your parents found out. And also, was it even true? Why do you even have a friend that diddles and fingers you? That is a bit questionable. Are they even your friend at that point? But anyways, next time, maybe don't, you know, make your account public, or maybe don't, like, I don't know, have connections to your cousins or parents on TikTok. As honestly, yeah, this is slightly questionable. I don't know why you would make a TikTok about your friends fingering you. So I have two stories. My friends and I drew me as a femboy and we hid it in my notebook, but it fell out onto the classroom floor and my teacher found it on the floor. He looked me dead in the eyes and asked, "Is this yours?" The second story happened while my friend was pooping. I slid a note under the door that said, "Have a nice poop." The guy that was pooping slid it out under the door just as our teacher was walking by. The teacher found it and just looked at us in pure disappointment. Bro, what are you even doing? Like, why would you slide a note underneath a door to someone you don't even know? Like, I understand it's a nice gesture, but at the same time, he's pooing. Like, I don't think he wants to receive that note. I think he's just trying to focus on just releasing his poo. Like, if I was pooing and if I was, like, constipated, if someone slid a note under the door, I would probably feel a little bit frightened, which would cause my sphincter to suddenly, you know, close up and my poo to get shot straight back up my ass. And then it would take another 20 minutes to regain the progress, which I just lost. But anyways, why are you drawing yourself as a femboy and then it falls out, your teacher looks at you, "Is this yours?" I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with femboys, but I 100% know for a fact that teacher was judging you a lot. The teacher was probably wondering what type of student he was teaching. But anyways, this is overall pretty embarrassing. It's slightly questionable why you would even slide that note under the door. And so yeah, slightly questionable. Okay, so this actually happened when I was in pre-primary, so a long time ago, but basically we had to dress up as what we wanted to be when we grow up and then complete a worksheet on why we wanted to be that. And everyone came dressed up as zookeepers, vets, firefighters, policemen, doctors, but you want to know what I wanted to be? I came dressed to class as a butterfly, a goddamn butterfly. And from that day onwards, I now feel very embarrassed. P.S. This year I went to Melbourne with my family for 2 weeks, and when I came back home to my house in Western Australia, there were tiny larvae swimming in our toilet because nobody was flushing the toilet for 2 weeks and it was really disgusting. Bro, why did you just throw in a fun fact? I did not ask for this fact. That is disgusting. But anyways, back to the actual, you know, embarrassing story. I mean, this is not that bad. You came dressed up as a butterfly. I mean, you were in pre-primary school, and so you probably didn't even understand what a job was back then. And honestly, you probably don't even know what a job is right now. You're probably unemployed, no offense. But anyways, a butterfly. I mean, technically you could be a butterfly. I mean, like, you could be like become a professional cosplaying fairy, like a butterfly fairy. But anyways, this is not that bad. I think this is calm. This is really not too embarrassing, especially that you were in, you know, pre-primary school. This is not that embarrassing. One time I was at an anime convention, I was cosplaying as Venti from Genshin Impact, and I brought a few of my friends to the convention, and while we were eating, one of my friends took a picture of me and sent it in Snapchat, not only to our friend group, but to the whole school. Oh my freaking god, I'm so embarrassed. Do you understand my dignity as a guy cosplaying as a femboy? Safe to say, the entire school called me a femboy. I mean, honestly, there's nothing wrong with being a femboy. We are acceptive, and, you know, we accept everyone in this community. But at the same time, bro, your friends did you dirty. Why would they send that to the whole school? Like, wait, also, why do you have a whole school group chat? Aren't schools too big for that? But anyways, yeah, your friend definitely should have asked you for permission. But like, at the same time, if you didn't want to be shown to the whole school in that outfit, why would you wear it to an anime convention? I don't even know what this looks like. Let me just copy and paste it and see what it looks like. Oh, okay. I mean, is this a femboy? That's not a femboy, is it? I don't think that's a femboy. It's just a anime outfit, isn't it? I mean, that's not too bad. I mean, getting like a photo of this sent to the group chat, that is not too bad. Okay, maybe it is, depending on what version of the costume you used. But anyways, this one is, yeah, slightly questionable. I can understand how you feel embarrassed, but yeah, your friends did you absolutely dirty. One time when I was in 3rd grade, I had a teacher who refused to let me go to the bathroom, so I peed on my chair and floor as retaliation. But there was a kid beside who witnessed it, and I couldn't bear to look at him after since he was in my class 7 years later. I'm just glad he never told anyone, or else I would have peed on him too. Bro, what is wrong with you? Why are you using pee as like a self-defense weapon or even a threat? It's a threat. So instead of like, I don't know, like shooting up the school, you're just gonna shoot up the school with your piss? You're just gonna piss on everyone? So in 10th grade, you somehow end up in the same class as the guy who witnessed you pissing on the floor. But to be fair, when teachers don't let you go to the bathroom, like, okay, yeah, I can understand why you did that in retaliation, but still, that's like a like you're inting. You're actually inting. Because it's not like you piss on the floor and then like you are clean. Like when you piss on the floor, I'm pretty sure like in your chair especially, if you piss on the chair, you piss on yourself as well. And so who wins in the end? Like who has won? I think you have lost no matter what. Because if you're pissing on yourself, like there's no way you can win. And so honestly, yeah, this is slightly questionable. I don't know whether I would do this myself. I had a crush at school and I was really being a simp, and I gave her a Valentine's gift, LED lights, and we went to the movies and stuff. And then one day I asked her if she wanted to be my girlfriend, and she said no and moved to a new school. Bro, how could she hate you so much that she just moves to a completely different school? How bad was your Riz? Like that, your Riz must have been atrocious. That is insane. I've never heard of this. Like somebody like rejecting you so hard that she just wants to leave the state, the country, just go to a new planet. You must have been an actual creep, like an actual creepy simp. That is insane. And so I can understand why you were embarrassed. I think like you'd be more embarrassed about the fact that she moved schools. Like your Riz was so bad that she moved schools compared to just her rejecting you. Honestly, if she rejected you and like stayed at the same school, that would have been fine. But the fact that she moved to a new school because of how bad your Riz is, that is actually insane. I think you actually might need to get some therapy from this. Like this, like I would feel traumatized if I was you. One time I went to a hotel with my parents and my dad said do not piss the bed, and so I said okay, and then the next day I didn't piss the bed, but instead I pooped at the freaking bed, and so then we had to leave. I mean, honestly, you technically did not disobey your father. Technically, you didn't piss the bed. But at the same time, what you actually did was potentially 10 times, even 100 times worse. Imagine like the staff at the hotel having to clean like the poo stains from the bed. And imagine if it soaked into the mattress. That would have meant that they have to like replace the entire mattress. They have to throw it in the bin and buy a new mattress because of you. Honestly, I think it would have been better if you pissed 10 gallons of pee onto that bed instead of 1 cubic centimeter of poo onto the bed. And so honestly, I think this is slightly questionable. Honestly, it could be calm. Like I think it's pretty natural to piss on the bed, but actually, yeah, it's not normal to poo onto the bed. And so, yeah, this is slightly questionable. So when I was in 4th grade, I was a bit odd. I would bark at people and act like a dog while I was at school, and then act like nothing had happened for the next few hours. It got so bad to the point where I started acting like this at home. One day I decided I would act like I had fleas, and these random guys kept coming up to me and throwing grass at me until I stopped barking at them. Bro, what is wrong with you? I understand that you're in 4th grade, but why would you bark at random strangers? And it got so bad that the random strangers threw grass at you to try get you to stop. But how much were you barking? You probably sounded feral. It probably sounded like you had like rabies or something. Maybe they were just trying to help you. They were trying to like calm you down without accidentally agitating you. And so the only way was to sort of throw grass at you so that like they could just protect themselves and have enough room to run just in case you bit them and gave them rabies. But anyways, yeah, this is slightly questionable. Honestly, yeah, you were in 4th grade, and so I mean, it's not too embarrassing for 4th grade, but like if this was like, I don't know, like in like 12th grade or something, then yeah, it would be a whole different story. One time when I was in 5th grade, me and my friend were outside because of the break. And when we were walking, I tripped and fell against my crush, bringing not me and her, but all her friends down. I apologized and went on with my day. When the bell rang, we went to class, but I didn't look at the door, so I pushed myself against the door in an attempt to open it, but the teacher had already opened it, and so I fell face first into her melons, if you know what I mean. And then everyone laughed at me and the teacher. Bro, I mean, is this really a bad thing or a good thing? I mean, was the teacher hot? So you tried to like, you know, like barge, like sort of like football tackle the door to try and open it, but instead of football tackling the door, you football tackle your teacher's honker bonkers. But at least they would have softened the floor. Like at least you wouldn't have got knocked out by the door. Maybe you would have got knocked out by the door because you would have tried to tackle it, but instead you go face first into 2 soft pillows. Or maybe they were hard. Maybe they were rock hard. Maybe you knocked yourself out on her melons. But anyways, this isn't really that bad. I mean, this is like, I think this is understandable. Honestly, maybe this is a good thing. Maybe. So this is calm, I think.